Hey guys, welcome back to Wentworth Life and welcome back to another Prisoner episode review. Now, as I'm filming this, the first two episodes have already gone live on this channel last week and I am loving the feedback from you guys. And also, I don't know if you noticed, but I've actually been releasing two episodes at the same time every Saturday rather than make you guys wait until the Sunday for the next one. And I think it's gone down well, so that's what I'm going to be doing with the Prisoner reviews going forward, dropping double episodes every Saturday. Okay, so Prisoner Cell Block H episode 4, Meg's Anger. Now, in the last episode, we were left on a huge cliffhanger where Bill Jackson was stabbed during a huge riot and fight scene that broke out. When this episode begins, the women are all locked away and Bill is rushed to the hospital and he is in a real bad way. Now, this episode pretty much turns into a whodunit storyline because poor Bill Jackson, he does end up passing away from his stab wounds. So most of this episode is trying to find out who killed Bill Jackson, and it also heavily features Meg and the grief that Meg goes through, and it's really interesting to watch because up until this point, Meg, she has been the most kindest officer to the women, the officer that everyone goes to, and the most lenient officer. Now, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but in a previous episode, we learned that Meg was born in prison, and I'm pretty sure much further on or further down the line, we do get to learn that this is one of the main reasons why she became an officer, to help the women. But after the murder of her husband, Meg is no longer the nice officer. After an emotional scene with Greg Miller and Marty, just after the death of Bill, Meg ends up going back to work the following day, shocking everyone. The news about Bill's death spreads through the prison while the women are still locked up, and the police arrive to question all of them. Later on, the women are finally released from their cells and they're put back to work, and this is when Meg goes to the laundry and asks B and the women who killed her husband. Now, of course, nobody speaks up, so Meg tells them that from now on, she is going to make life hell for the lot of them. Like, Meg really does change into this proper, strict officer, one extreme to the other. I mean, it's totally understandable, but it's so weird and a little bit fascinating watching it on screen. So, who killed Bill Jackson? Was it Frankie? Was it B? Was it Karen Travis? I mean, she's got form with stabbing her husband. Well, Eddie the electrician is called in for questioning because he was in the building during the time of the riot. Now, he did spend most of his time rolling around in the roof with Marilyn, but when Eddie came down from the attic to take a look at things, he saw the fight and he saw who stabbed Bill Jackson. Now, Marilyn tells Eddie not to tell the police. It will be taken care of by the women. So after Eddie is questioned and goes to leave the prison, B and some of the women, they end up cornering Eddie, and Eddie is forced to tell B who killed Bill. B and the women come back to the laundry and Doreen then sends Meg out on a wild goose chase. It's then revealed who killed Bill Jackson, and it's Chrissy Latham, the one who kissed him in the last episode. Chrissy tries to make a run for it out to the laundry, but the women just grab her and throw her up against the dryer. And B tells Chrissy to basically own up, otherwise she will wish she has never been born. This leads us on to a brilliant scene. So Chrissy, she ends up going to see Frankie in solitary, which, by the way, how did Chrissy even get up to where solitary is? Because normally solitary is locked behind a gate. Anyway, Chrissy begs Frankie for help, and when Frankie realizes that it was Chrissy who killed Bill, the pair of them end up in a little bit of an altercation between the bars. Chrissy then leaves the solitary area, and then Doreen and some of the women, they end up chasing Chrissy down the corridor and down to her cell. But when Chrissy gets to her cell, B is already in there waiting for her. The women then grab Chrissy and B ends up pulling out some scissors. B then proceeds to scalp Chrissy with the scissors, and as Chrissy screams out for help, Meg and Vera run to the cell, and this is where we see Chrissy, who's got a really bad bleed on her head. She then confesses to Meg that it was her. She killed her husband. It's such a classic scene. I absolutely love it, and it really shows just how badass B can be. When Chrissy is interviewed by the police, Chrissy tells them that she wasn't originally going to stab Bill. She wanted to stab Meg to get her out of the way, but Chrissy ended up realizing that it would have made no difference and Bill would never want to be with her anyway. So Chrissy just ended up stabbing him instead. Now, even though Meg has found out who killed her husband, this hasn't changed her mood with the women. She's angry, she's hurt, she's annoyed, and let's face it, she shouldn't even be in work. After Bill's funeral, Erica has a chat with Meg in her office and things get quite intense. Erica points out Meg's attitude towards the women and goes on to say that if she carries on like this, she's gonna end up having a nervous breakdown. Erica then tries to offer Meg a way out of the prison service, saying that she will be receiving a substantial amount of compensation of what happened to Bill. And she goes on to say that she thinks it would be best for Meg to resign, but Meg, she completely loses her shit and tells Erica that she will not be leaving Wentworth, and she goes on to say that if Erica does try and sack her or try and remove her out of the prison, then she will go to the papers and tell the whole world that Erica didn't follow protocol when B returned, and Meg storms out of Erica's office in tears. It's proper intense, like, poor Meg. Now, the episode ends with Meg crying down the halls of Wentworth while the credits run. Let's go back to Mum, who is still living in that crappy rundown place, and she sees in the newspaper that Bill Jackson was murdered and she's really saddened by this. Now, when she tries to ring the prison to speak to Meg to offer some condolences, Meg refuses to speak to her. Mum ends up having a fall in her room, and the couple who run this crappy little rundown hostel, they decide to go rummaging through Mum's bag, and they end up finding an address for her daughter Lorraine. Lynn Warner receives some bad news in this episode when her appeal against her crime is refused. She gets really upset when Erica tells her this news, and she even threatens to kill herself. Now, of course, Lynn is still on her hunger strike at the moment, and I tell you what guys, she's got more willpower than me, that's all I can say. So all in all, this was a great episode. The whodunit storyline, it didn't drag out for too long, and the episode was, jam-packed with plenty of emotion and drama and storylines with the fallout of the riot and the death of Bill Jackson, of course. Now, things are definitely getting quite intense with Erica and Meg, and this Lynn Warner storyline is about to get a whole lot bigger and messier. My favourite part in this episode would have to be Chrissy Latham getting scalped by B, and my least favourite part is poor Mum collapsing in that rundown hostel. I really want things to improve for Mum in the next episode. I also forgot to say, after it was revealed about Chrissy ended up getting transferred out of Wentworth. So, my fellow prisoner and Wentworth fans, if you've seen this episode before, what were your first impressions of this? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments box below. Luckily, there are no ghosts or gremlins playing with my video equipment today. Maybe they're fans of Prisoner 2. Who knows? Anyway guys, let me know all of your thoughts. Make sure you like and share this video with a fellow Prisoner fan. Make sure you've smashed that subscribe button. Stay safe out there, and I will see you all again very soon.